It'd be kind of funny for folks. Okay, here we go. Here we are live. It's official. Welcome, everybody, to this month's Cosmic Chat. Madeleine Parker is with me. Madeleine is
Hi, everybody.
the extraordinaire. I am Amalia Natalia with Karmic Kindness, and we are bringing you the Aquarius New Moon Cosmic Forecast, which happens on Wednesday, January 29th at 7:36 a.m. It is at 9 degrees, 50 minutes. Now, and that's 7:36 a.m. Eastern, which would be 4:36 a.m. Pacific. Now, I kind of just want to open up this conversation with something that really jumped out at me. And it's that before we even talk about anything, I just want to say this to me is the theme for this new moon. So Aquarius is that humanitarian, innovative, progressive, independent kind of energy. Okay. And with the aspects to the moon, which I'll be sharing about momentarily, and Madeleine will expand upon them. The one key phrase that jumped out at me was, what's your big vision of the future?
I like it.
It's so profound to me because we also have on that same day is when we move from the dragon in the Chinese zodiac into the wood snake. So we're also moving into a totally different paradigm shift when it comes to the Chinese zodiac. So this is to me, feels like a pretty pivotal day. We have 3 planets still in retrograde. So Mars is still in retrograde until February 23rd. And so we might have the big visions, but we might not have the energy to execute on the visions quite yet. So it's not like necessarily like get up and go, even though in some cases it might be, but just an awareness. Jupiter is still in retrograde, going direct on February 4th. And then Uranus is stationing direct on January 30th. So the very next day, Uranus, which is very connected, the ruler of Aquarius, isn't it one of the rulers of Aquarius?
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah. So I was like, as I said it, I'm like, is that right? Yes. Is stationing direct. So we've got all this very innovative, fresh energy that's at play. So I'm super excited about how that could shake out going forward. Now, the other part about this is like, this is also a great time. It's a new moon to have your intentions, have your vision, be able to get ready to initiate on projects that are aligned with your vision and your ideals. So this is also, Aquarius is humanitarian. So what are your ideals? What sort of projects are important to you? What charities or what missions or what areas of the world are important to you to support? What is it that you'd like to put your energy and your innovation behind? Body gates for this Aquarius moon, I love to mention them because it's really great to know what parts of the body could be affected. Calves, ankles, shins, Achilles, and the thyroid. So the thyroid is one of those I feel like has amped up in awareness. I know a lot of my circle have had thyroid issues, either hyper or hypothyroid issues. I had a little bit of a low threshold of thyroid function. And so just an awareness of the thyroid and how it really does have an impact on how our body functions, how we feel. Our circulation too is connected to this. So there's a lot of you think about your calves, your ankles, your shins, that's movement. So maybe moving our bodies in a different way, but with some care. Okay, I feel like I'm fire hosing everyone, but Madeleine is on the road and I'm feeling very cognizant of her time because I really would like for her to safely get to her next destination before it gets too late. So I've got to going quickly. But let me just share a little bit about these aspects and then we'll let Madeleine dive into each of the signs. So as with every new moon, we have the sun and the moon hanging out together. They're hanging out obviously in Aquarius. So there's a desire for freedom and progress right now. We've got that inner desire and then that forward movement. So the inner and the outer of the sun and the moon. Then we also have the moon conjunct Mercury, the sign of Mercury, the planet of communication. And there's a connection between our thoughts. So it's also communication, but it's also thoughts and thinking and writing. A connection between our thoughts and our emotions being the moon. And being in the potential for, there's also a potential for overthinking because there's like a lot of activation there. And there will also you might feel this need to gather, which is that Aquarian sort of energy to connect with people and have conversations, which might feel really nice. We also have a really nice aspect. The moon is trine Jupiter. So there might be a feeling of hope, and there might be a feeling of, okay, it's time to embrace some change, to innovate something new. So, depending on, I don't want to open up the political dialogue necessarily, but there are definitely some emotions on both ends of the spectrums, both ends of the spectrum when it comes to politics. So some people might be feeling hopeful and some people might not be. And maybe the ones who aren't might have some innovative ideas. And the ones who are feeling hopeful can take that hope out into the world and spread that. That's at least the vision that I hold for how that will play out. And this is a time to think big, get out there and network, connect with your community, connect with the people online, like really have a connection with other people sharing ideas. And then the final aspect is the moon conjunct Pluto. This can bring up some intense emotions that are ready to be released. It may relate to repressed emotions from childhood. So there might be some things that creep in that relate to situations, maybe even go so far as traumas that occurred in childhood that might be holding you back, that might be keeping you in a stuck position, and that you can release them now and move forward in a new way. So perfect time for fresh new starts. And before Madeline jumps in, I'm going to show the impact chart really quickly because like I said, I always feel like the visual is helpful so people can see exactly what's happening and they can see where it might be affecting them. So here we have the impact chart. So if you have any planets or points that are between 4 degrees and 14 degrees, Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, and Taurus, you will feel this moon intensely. And it's interesting because I have this, this particular moon is opposing my natal sun. So I'm already noticing some things shifting and changing in my life, and these ideas that are coming in, and how that can impact and really support people in areas of their life, particularly relationships and their relationship with the cosmos and themselves, and engage within their interpersonal relationships differently. So some really big energy for people who have any planets or points with between 4 and 14, Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, and Taurus. So let me stop sharing here. So Madeline, I could tell you were vibing with me with the descriptions of some of those things, and I'm curious how you're seeing that play out, and what's coming up for you as far as the cosmos.
Well, I do want to bring up the political thing because I consider myself non-politically biased, but I thought the Trump speech was amazing, and it was so New Earth. And that day that he went into office, I've never been a particular Trump fan or a left fan. I've been right in the center, but I'm a truther. I want to know the truth. I in general about everything. That's what I consider myself. So I've considered myself to have a sort of impartial, non-politically biased view of that day. And as an astrologer, it was just bingo, bingo, bingo. Everything he was saying, the fact that he was delineating what he wanted to do with that clarity, that's very Age of Aquarius. You call it, you describe it, that vision he had over one thing, over the other, about what to do, about what to change. I mean, he was working. This guy has an astrologer. I have zero doubt about it. The day that he was inaugurated was the first day that the sun has been conjoined with Pluto in the sign of Aquarius for over 450 odd years. So when the founders of our country put the inauguration day on the sun Uranus day, that's the day in Pluto. I mean, That's the day that marks liberation. That is the day that initiates the revolution. There is zero doubt about it. We're in a revolution. We're going to see it. Whenever Pluto is out of bounds in the energy of Aquarius, it's a revolution. And so it's the topple of an old regime. In my opinion, in the Aquarian revolution, it's passive, as you're seeing, because it's happening via the powers of politics. Now, whatever side you're on, the American governmental system is amazing. That I went to boarding school in England, and our teacher, our history teacher, was so impressed with the system, the balances, checks and balances, you know. So even if you think your president's a tyrant, it's going to be, you have to be elected in by the other people. And if people don't believe in him anymore, the other side will outvote it, or even the people on his own side. So we're very protected in this country by our system, very Aquarian. So we're coming into a phase now where it's power to the people. There's just no doubt about it. That's the energy of Aquarius. That's why everybody knows the people win. We're pulling our energy and power back from a oligarchy system where people can't expand. And yes, it's breaking through because the future has to happen now. We have to expand into the future. And the old system was archaic and holding us back. No matter what political side you're on, we're in an expansion energy. Everything that president said was so new age, so new the future. It just blew my mind. And I don't even care what side I'm on. I liked it. So,
Well, and I feel like
I was inspired by it.
And that's also really, it's okay. So let's see how it plays out now, because that's the big thing. Because there's, everyone has great ideas. Well, not everyone, but people can have great ideas, but then not be able to move forward on them and actually bring them carry them into fruition.
If you know astrology, you know all of those ideas were in alignment with the new earth and that they're all probably going to happen. That's how confident I am. He knows that man, whoever he has an astrologer, he knows exactly what they're reaching for. It will happen. I guarantee it. Because once you claim it, once you label it, once you vision it, once you describe it, that is the age of Aquarius. It's the age of the fifth dimension. Once that's Pluto and Aquarius, that's why we manifest really fast. Once you label what you want and you visualize it and you call it, and you've got to be ridiculous about it because Trump's ridiculous about it, like it's going to be the greatest. It happens because that's the age of Aquarius. We're working with the unseen forces. So when you line with the sort of unrealistic, it can happen in the age of Aquarius. That's why we have to clear up all this karma, because you're going to manifest more karma if that's your energy frequency. So that's why we've been going through all these planets in Pisces. We're clearing up all our past baggages. We're lightening all the, for me in particular, tax issues with my ex-husband, which is all happening in my 8th house, which is my Aquarius house. So it's like we're deleting and we're clearing off old entanglements from the past, karmic energies, so that we can now begin this new era, which is going to start in spring, when all the outer planets are going to move into their next signs. That is the official beginning of, well, actually, you could call this new moon in Aquarius literally the official of the beginning of the new age. But I've said it before, but here's the other thing about, and I'm going to share the chart. Is this a good time? Shall I share?
Yeah. As you're doing that,
were you supposed to do anything? Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to say one thing. So it's so interesting, on January 20th, so on our inauguration day was also the day that I had my my book launch party. And so
good job for doing that day.
That was a pretty big day. Yeah. And what was also interesting about it is you're talking about closing karmic loops and ties. I mean, it was about my first marriage and clearing that karma within that relationship. And, one of my intentions that I had been holding firm to, even when it's been really hard, was that everything that I did, everything that I chose during that time to do was based on the fact that I really had a strong desire that our kids never felt uncomfortable having their father and I in the same room, that they would think twice about inviting us together to do different things, and that he and I could be a cooperative front for the kids, and be there for them.
Yeah, I think that's great.
And so after the book launch, he had invited me to come and have dinner, and the kids and I, and so we ended up spending some time that evening after the launch of the book about the disentanglement of the two of us. So it felt very much aligned with what you're talking about, Elaine. So I wanted to give everyone an actual example of that. And
well, can I just jump Well, one of the things you know when you've cleared your karma, and this is how I know I cleared my karma with my ex-husband, is you actually feel some sort of compassionate love for them again. And you see them on this fresh, sort of pure way because you've cleared the gunk between the two of you. And you can go have a nice meal together because honestly, the father of your children, they're always going to be in your life. You know, it's kind of like I always consider that a real marriage, you know, but as far as just like really connected forever. But so yes, that's a beautiful sign that you cleared the karma.
Well, and I think it's a great example for people too, to see how these things can happen in the collective, like you're talking about within the United States, but also on an individual level in ways that you may not expect. And like I said, there were times in this process of like 5, 6 years where I wasn't sure that we were going to be able to really hold firm, and where I really wasn't feeling like, okay, I did all this for, I don't know. I'm not sure how I'm feeling right now. And, even leading up to it, there were some tense moments for
Yeah.
me internally.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, I did feel like a completion, almost like I can tie a
Mm-hmm.
little bow on the box and put the box on the shelf, and it's okay now. So yeah. And as you can see, I don't know if you
That's
can
great
see,
because now
I
you're
like,
lighter. You're gonna feel lighter, like you just dropped a big old bag of potatoes. It's like, whoa.
like, and in like, I'm trying to see which way over here, if you can see the book
Oh yeah.
that way. I have my book up on the shelf. And
Oh,
that way.
very good.
Yeah.
Congratulations. High
Yeah.
five on that. Clap.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So
I
yeah,
saw
and
your post. I was excited for you. I saw you there signing books. Good job.
thank you. So yeah, if anyone's interested, it's we to me.love, a story of love, loss, and liberation, really going into how you learn more about yourself, get closer with yourself, disentangle from the we. And that doesn't necessarily mean you disentangle or divorce. It's really about getting it more in touch with yourself, retuning, recalibrating.
The fact that you use the word liberation is just how we're going to be hearing that word all over today. It's
A
like
lot.
that's the part of the sky this is all happening on. And you even had to put that word in your book thing. It's like that's right because the divorces and things like that mean to you. It's technically an 8th house energy, which is a liberation. How in other words, we're liberating from old energies that have tangled us. So yeah, it's a liberation energy for sure.
It's, yeah, pretty cool. So, all right, I'm going to let you share, Madeline.
Start.
And
Okay, so this is what Amalia was talking about. I will visually show you. We have this Mars. We do have a beautiful trine in this new moon to Jupiter, which is the ruler of this new moon. And as you said, Uranus is in retrograde. Uranus will go direct in the next day or day after that. But I think you said the next day. So then we're going to have Jupiter stationing direct February 2nd. So then what's happening is both of these planets are retrograde, making contact. So this is ruling the new moon, and this is making a triangle aspect, but it also was squaring Saturn. So there was some reason. This is something that has been in our lives before. This is a return of something. Plus we have Mars in retrograde, as you mentioned. It's already begun. Now, what happened when I was talking about the day that the sun moved into Aquarius, it hit Pluto. So what is that all about? So the whole thing about the age of Aquarius is that the people are empowered. They're no longer intimidated and oppressed into slavery or slavery mentality or oppressed by a oligarchy. We suddenly wake up to us having the power to be abundance with our own abilities to work with the unseen forces or just energy in general, right? And technologies and internet and social media and connecting with people. So we have a way, we're not stuck on some other material system. I'll get into it another time. But anyway, bottom line is this is something we weren't empowered about before. So something comes back that we had tried to work on before, but we weren't fully in our power yet because we had karma more to clear. We have some fear-based issues, didn't believe in ourselves with Jupiter retrograde. Aspecting it now, it's like, okay, are you ready now? Do you have the power? When that Trump speech was, he's so lion when he walks in like a lion. He's got Leo. He's just like, wow. And that's what Aquarius is all about. I'm sorry, I'm really not politically biased. I mean, it was just so as above, so below. I couldn't believe it. So there was the roar of this lion on this day, which is in all of us. We're all roaring up into our power. We're all stepping forward. And we weren't empowered enough. And in Trump's first term, he wasn't empowered enough to be this strong or to be this bold. now we're all that. That is all of us, okay? That is all of us being empowered to step forward and take on this mission, because that's the age of Aquarius, is about your mission. Age of Aquarius is about living your astrological truth chart. The astrology is the 9th house. I'm sorry, 11th house, which is Aquarius, the stars, bing, 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 the 5D, bing, bing, bing. And so the stars and the planets. So following your chart, your truth, your chart is your truth, who you truly are, which shows your true mission, your true dharma, what you're here for. So when everybody steps into their true chart, suddenly the whole world is like suddenly shifted into the golden era. So when he was talking about the golden era, that is exactly what's happening, because people are waking up. You see astrology now everywhere, which is great. It's not threatening for astrologers. We don't really mind, because the more people understand astrology, the more in alignment we are with who we truly are, the more abundant the planet is.
It's
Because
a win-win.
yeah, because the divine created us for a purpose that would improve the earth. Now Aquarius is to serve humanity. It's the king and the kingdom. Leo is the king. Kingdom is Aquarius. So we're stepping up, all of us, and serving our kingdom. I heard a report from RFK, whatever. It's apparently people, millionaires are coming up to him saying, how can I serve my country? How can I serve my country? Like, people are just waking up. I want to serve my country. I want to be a part of making this world a better place. I want to serve my fellow man. I don't want to be a part of the degradation of our world or the dark era anymore. So that's how we pull out of the dark era, is by this new moon, because this new moon will reinitiate something that initiated before, perhaps July, maybe even before. We've had several eclipses there before, or new moons, because we had all those eclipses in Taurus and Scorpio, which would have aspected our Aquarian house, squared our Aquarian houses. And this is a fixed energy. So we're creating radical change to create radical stabilization, from which abundance then really flourishes. This is a very, very abundant part of the sky, by the way, very wealthy. I was studying it right before. I'll give you a couple of key words for it. New beginning ventures, new ventures, modern, futuristic, which literally spell out the new earth. These are new inventions that have never been done before, or new callings. The new earth is paved by new ventures, by new ideas, by liberating things that liberate us. Listening, travel, buying property, medical treatment, socializing, learning, philosophy, religious activities, or you could say humanistic, humanitarian stuff, right? And it's a very, shall we say, it's considered to be a possessor of wealth. This is a very abundant time. I'm telling you, this is a really nice new moon. So this new moon is going to bring us into alignment with a new beginning of something that was more in alignment with who we truly are, a beginning, but we didn't have the confidence for it. We had too low self-esteem. We had karma to clear. We didn't believe in it. Something in our brain, because of that Jupiter trining it in retrograde, had to be shifted. We had to have a new belief. And with the Mercury Jupiter opposition, people were shifting rapidly their beliefs, changing their minds, like bam, bam, bam. It's like crazy. Waking up, you know. So Mars in Cancer is making a really nice aspect to Uranus too, which is action that really, it's like, wow, what a nice new moon. It's like, we're healed. We got that Chiron. You know what we're doing? Because you got Chiron squaring Mars, we're breaking through our fears. We're breaking through our comfort zones. We're not caring what people think of us. We're stepping into our empowerment. That's what Chiron in Aries is turning us into spiritual warriors, new age war. That's, what do you call it? The age of Aquarius warriors. The people are empowered in these energies, zero doubt about it. So now with a nice trine to Mars, we have the umph. We're like, okay, I can do this. I'm healing. Because you can't heal our insecurities and our wounds and our fears without having them there and working past them and doing it anyway, pushing through them. That's what you have to do. Everybody has fears, but when you have a sextile with Uranus, suddenly liberation to push through a fear against a comfort zone. That's what Uranus is. You have to work against our comfort zones. It's scary to leave the castle, go into the jungle. That's like, get out there. Come on, let's do this. We go out. We're not passive watchers of this chaos unfolding. We have to step up and be proactive. That's what this new moon is. And now we're empowered. Full moon, sun on Pluto, first time, 250 years, is the marking. It is literally the empowerment of the people. Literally. So But also, I'll tell you something about the age of Aquarius. It's not politically biased, 100%. We're going to wake up to that negativity that it's like you really want to focus on the truth. You want to focus on what's going on each political side. And is it right? You want to be focused on, is it good and right? Not, am I being swayed politically this way or being swayed politically? Because that's not healthy. We're making choices that are based on political paradigms rather than what is needed.
Yeah.
So that is the age of Aquarius. We have galvanization. That's why it's more passive, because the thing that creates the division was through the lie. It's everybody wants the same thing. I don't care what side of the political spectrum you're on. Everybody wants good schools, clean water, safe homes. Everybody wants the same thing. I guarantee it. So these
The
are
approaches are very different.
The approaches are different, but we need to be open-minded to approaches to how to receive that, and rather be locked-minded because of your political bias. Because we're opening into a new era where things are totally different. Whatever locked-minded political bias you have about the way things are going to work, don't work anymore. Nothing, it is a whole new era. The more unpolitically biased you can be, the fresher you can see things. That's Aquarius. As hard as that may be in these times.
Yeah, well, and I mean, if you think back too, just go back 10, 20, 30 years, the things that were kind of out of the ordinary and unthinkable then are commonplace now. So
that's right.
Sometimes it just takes people a little while to acclimate or adjust to the new ideas.
Yep. So we're sort of restoring back to a galvanized country in the age of Aquarius, which is why I predict this revolution. This revolution is really out of bounds. Whenever a planet is really out of bounds, the last time Pluto was out of bounds, I think it was in Cancer, was during the Third Reich, during Hitler. And that was so out of bounds. Those are dictatorships and tyrants when it goes out of bounds the other way. And then they build regimes that, and then you get the out of bounds in the other way, and it topples old regimes. And that's where we are right now. We're toppling a regime, and it happens every 250 years, and it's out of bounds. And this is the last time it ever happens. After this, we have no more revolutions, no more. It's like weird. We're going to go into the multiple years of peace, the golden era. We really are literally. That's why I know Trump has an astrologer. He said we're entering the golden era. That's 100% true.
That's fascinating.
I know.
About the out of bounds in one direction, and then the other direction, taking and the correlation between the timing.
And when it's out of bounds in either direction, it's wild. It's like, whoa, you're like, what the, like, Hitler was, what the, I mean, we just, so now we're going to be like that. Remember, out of bounds just is like, you can't even imagine it. And the age of Aquarius, literally as a astrological planet, is literally a planet we just call a wild card. We don't even give it a, you don't even try to predict a Uranian transit, because it's just like, whoa, whatever you think is most like you didn't think, like what is what it is, like. So should we go through all the signs, because we could talk about the age of Aquarius forever, because it's so exciting. This is a good time. Not saying there's not going to be some kind of crisis. When all these planets bunch up at 29 degrees, we're going to see crisis, but that's further down the line. But we're going to be able to get over them, because we're going to shift into this energy of Aquarius, where we have learned that if we create the energy that we're operating in is literally influences the outcome of any crisis. That's where we've learned that we have power. So we'll get into that another time. So
we've got this is
and I got to get on the road.
Yeah, this is a very astrologically active year. So we'll talk about it when Madeline is not driving hours and hours later today. But really quickly, before we get moving on that, just want to share the card for the Aquarius New Moon. It is the pink primrose. Here are some of the key words: thinking outside the box, innovation, creativity, sense of being called to action, rapid growth. And then one aspect I love about this one is make it effortless. So how can you take your grand vision, bring it into reality in an effortless way, one that doesn't feel like you're having to swim against the tide? So
that's right.
Yeah.
That is so true. So in alignment. Oh, you know what I don't have with me?
Your cards.
Yes.
Okay. That's okay. We're going to
I had to think of so many things. I had to think of water, coffee, the fog, the headphones.
We'll improvise. I'm just going to write it on paper.
Oh, all I have to do. Yeah. I was going to say,
I'll just write it on paper, and then you can do
my tarot deck. I can use the tarot cards for that sign, because Aries is the emperor.
Do you want to do that?
Take me forever to find these. Well,
Yeah, I feel like
probably
that might
not.
take too long.
Yeah, well, just if you can hold up.
Yeah. So where are we starting? We're going to start with Aries
Aries.
here. I'm
Yep.
just,
Let me get to the hours here. Let's go ahead for Aries. Let me line up
well, I
Aries.
don't have my scissors here.
One,
All right.
two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here we go, Aries.
All right. You ready?
Yep. Okay,
Oh,
11th house. Wow. Oh, good. Thank you. That's perfect. Okay, perfect. Okay, Aries.
I'm going to
And the
leave it
other
there.
thing I noticed, you got to talk when you put the sign up because the thing flashes back and forth. That last time I was doing this, I couldn't find any of them because I was quiet when I put it up and you talked and the camera would go to you and I couldn't even see the freaking card.
No way. I don't know why
Yeah,
it did that. Okay.
I didn't either, but whatever. This is good. Okay. Okay, Aries. So this is in your 11th house. Wow. So this is social media project, a tribe, perhaps something that you put out in film or technology. Something this new moon is hitting in your 11th house. It's Aquarius. I mean, you know, that's like literally double Aquarius. It's like the 11th house is the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius is there over your 11th house. You're destined to do something online with social media networking, serving your humanity, taking some cause out into the open, joining a tribe, pulling people together, being a leader. Aries are leaders. We need leaders today more than ever. We need leaders. We need people to be bold and step forward and take us into this new earth. If you have clarity, take it forward. Anybody with any kind of clarity, you know, do it. That's what this is. So it's also risk taking, don't forget, because there's a certain amount of like energy of like, let's go. And it's like, it's like not necessarily premeditated, shall we say. So it's spontaneous. That's that flower you showed where that's like boom, it's a spontaneous excitement, energy, and Aries are spontaneous types anyways. So this is going to be something from the past, again, a project or a tribe, people coming back from the past. Now, the other thing I want to look at is where Jupiter is moving, your Pisces, we're going to have Venus in retrograde and exaltation soon. We've got some great transits, everybody. My father was overhearing some of my readings when I was staying with him. He's like, do you just tell everybody all this great stuff all the time? Like, you're just like, everything's great. I said, no, Daddy, it literally is. Like, I'm telling you the truth. So he's Saturnian. He's pessimistic Saturnian type of person. Anyway, I consider this the middle truth. So yeah, so auspicious new beginnings involving your tribe, perhaps getting published, that's the 11th house too, becoming known. You're clearing a lot of karma. We're clearing a lot of karma right now. You've got Saturn and you know, plus you've got Mars in retrograde in your 4th house. Wow, Mars retrograde in your 4th house. You are healing some deep ancestral wounding, mother issues. Wow, work, low self-esteem, low insecurity stuff. Hard to know that Aries has that because they come off as bold and brave, but underneath they can be some unresolved stuff that they haven't looked at that needs to be dealt with. It's emotional, the 4th house. But they are definitely with Jupiter in their 3rd. This is most likely writing, film projects, media, insight, website, internet, you know, anything, starting a new website. But again, there's a motivation here to serve humanity and stepping into something, you know, on an intuitive level with those planets in retrograde. This is the right thing. And this is going to help the world. And it's not coming from the ego for the Aries. It's coming from a place of, you know, I'll tell you the ego, the Aries love more than anything when they do this, when their bravado and their strength and their courage really makes a difference and they're seeing it make traction and work. It fills them up. They just fire up in inspiration. So that's like the Aries excited to take on this project and fire up and lead the way. I don't mean to be so dramatic, but that's these energies. We're empowered. You know, we're busting through these things that we felt didn't believe or insecure we would get persecuted for. Some sort of weird old past life fear of persecution.
Well, it's interesting with the bee balm for Aries because this has to do with healing and recovering from traumatic experiences. So I know that you mentioned that, Madeleine, just a moment ago. So we've got the flower is echoing that. The other part of this that I think is interesting is that it also is an energy of a one-pointed focus. So, really helping them focus on a specific goal or a healing of some way, in some way. It's a great flower to adjust to transition. So any transitions that are taking place and bringing a natural balance into their world, their environment themselves. So, and to me, it's like a little bit of a jester sort of energy. So maybe they can bring in some, a little bit of playfulness or, not, have the one point of focus, but not be so serious about it as well. So
Yeah, and don't forget Aries have Pluto in their 11th house, so they're going to be transforming their ego and their fear of what people think and their sort of self-consciousness and they're going to sort of bust through and kind of show up as empowered on social media because that Pluto's there in their 11th house. So I'm going to throw that in for everybody.
yeah, it's interesting. So really quickly, I'm going to pop over to, before we
Sure.
transition to Taurus,
I
hang
shall
on.
have a sip of my coffee.
Yeah, so I'm going to hold this up. Hang on. There we go. So you can see it. Yeah, I think that works. So I'm going to pop over to here. We have Jessica's with us. She is a Cancer Sun, Taurus Moon, Scorpio rising. And she is from Montana. And she said the energy is really thick around her. She's curious if it will calm down. She said, I know I need to work on some past emotions before I can move forward.
That's right.
I feel like that's really the case for everyone.
Yep.
We're all
Yep.
working through that. And any time we have a full moon or a new moon, we're going to have emotions amped up because the moon is so active at that time.
It's also very revelatory. It'll reveal, there's a big part of this full moon that reveals secrets, reveal wounds, reveal truths, also reveals truths about the unrealisticness of a fear that has stopped you from going forward in this project before. Like, for instance, fear of being spiritual and your friends thinking you're a stupid idiot. And now you're like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I don't care what my friends think of me.
I think that's a big fear that a lot of people have. I mean, I talked to, many of my clients that also have said, they like their thoughts, their beliefs, the things that they're playing with and they're toying with, it's like so out there to the people in the world and they feel odd. So yeah, I love that idea of do it anyway. All right.
Oh yeah. Bust through your fears. They're not realistic. The only reason it's still in your psyche body is because you haven't gone against it to see that it was irrational.
All right, we're officially starting Taurus
Sorry,
now.
Taurus.
So, Jessica, listen up.
Here.
This affects you with your Taurus moon and anyone else with Taurus.
Yeah. Okay. 10th house. Wow. Nice. Full new moon in your 10th house. Well, that's career. That's your job. You could get married to. That's your status. So that's a house of work and how you're seen in the world, your status. And a new moon there, some new beginning that really promotes your status, that gets you more well known. That's the beginning of it's a promotion in your job. If you're working in a corporation, it's a promotion. If you're working for yourself and independent, which is age of Aquarius, by the way, I keep forgetting to mention that. You get new clients, you get new recognition, or you get married and your status changes. What else? Let's look at Jupiter there. And then you've got a beautiful trine to Jupiter in your 2nd house. Wow, good money, nice. That's like it could be something creative, artistic, Jupiter in the 2nd house, but it's a money-making venture that is intuitively, you could have a gift for that when the 2nd house, so some sort of a gift. By the way, Jupiter does revolve travel. You've got all this Pisces, you're clearing your karma in your 11th house, which indicates a fear of what people think of you, trying to control what people think of you or what people, because you're going to have Capricorn over your 9th, so you have a kind of tendency to have a little bit of a rigid belief, fixed signs do. So you're kind of busting through that old paradigm thinking. It's very tricky for Taurus, but this really shows as some sort of upgrade in your career. Again, this was an idea you had before that's coming back. It could involve filming, photography, media again, but Mars is in your 3rd house, so and Jupiter in your 2nd. I think it's more creative and artistic, or because don't forget you're ruled by Venus, all Taurans, but there is a creative, perhaps writing job too. Again, or media, but anytime you see Aquarius over the 10th house, your career is going to involve getting online, socializing, interacting with people, networking, getting out there, a new tribe in your work, you get a new job, so you have a whole new tribe. There you go.
Well, I feel like the Royal Poinciana is very supportive for Taurans. And the reason
Mm,
why is because, and this is so Aquarian, it's think big,
mm-hmm.
have conviction, ask for what you want. And they will be able to face the challenges that emerge for themselves when they are moving towards their bigger vision. So I think kind of the key so far that we're seeing is to think big.
Yeah,
Think
absolutely.
big. And
Yep.
this flower even too reminds me of, it's like bam, out there, like they're there. And then there's this, I don't know, this to me, it's like this purity and this light that emerges from that putting themselves out there. So I love the Royal Poinciana
That
for
is interesting. It does
Taurus.
sort of feel like a timid way out, but coming out of the safety zone and expressing something, and letting some truths out, revealing the soul or the light within,
Hmm.
something like that.
Yeah, I love that.
Well, Aquarius is electrical energy. It's the light. It is. It's electricity. It's the internet. Okay, where are we at here now?
Gemini. I'm sorry there's like a glare on these, Madeline, but hopefully
Oh,
you're
don't
able
worry.
to
I'll
see them.
see the white piece of paper and I'll just know that's where I'm. Okay, so Gemini, you guys have Jupiter retrograde in your first house, which is wild because you're going to have this beautiful new moon in the ninth house. Really involves traveling. Some person here could become a journalist, a true reporter, like for the people, like some kind of somebody who goes out and finds wisdom and reports it to the people, or because those are very big philosophy, and you've got Aquarius over that philosophical house. So we're really looking at expanding information, knowledge, philosophy, wisdom, spirituality, perhaps astrology, but with a retrograde there, and it's going to be some kind of a writing or intellectual pursuit. Geminis are intellects, teaching or selling. You could start selling some kind of a healing product that is technologically advanced, that is energy healing mechanisms. You could start selling them because we're all waking up to healing our energies, because we're waking up to how important our energies are. So if you create an internal balanced energy, you're going to create an external balanced experience. So we have Jupiter trining that. So some sort of opportunity comes in to make a lot of money over or travel. This would be a very, very nice yoga. By the way, when Jupiter is getting kind of closer to Pluto, which is a really good find. This is a financially abundant new beginning on something that was interesting already before. Again, perhaps Gemini decide to travel or to do something online or to bring wisdom to more awareness online, filmmaking projects that are philosophical, that are spiritual, media, because Gemini are always involved in media. They're intellectual, selling. What else could I think of? Advancing the information knowledge of. They're in their power. They have Jupiter in their in their first house, and then all the Pisces in their 10th. So basically Gemini are purifying their motive, because we're all purifying with that Pisces. They're purifying their motivation is shifting because of belief shifting to one of work and career and status, to one of how do I serve humanity and advance us with wisdom and philosophy for humanity, because the ninth house is also Aquarius in the ninth house. Uh, uh, Jupiter is to reinvigorate light and to bring back a quality of life and to bring back hope, because things manifest at that frequency. So you create a more abundant and better living experience. And then Aquarius is similar, very similar energy. It's about working with the higher light energy to create abundance. So we're definitely with that thing happening over the ninth, Aquarius, they either start to become public and a performer and talker and a wisdom guider, but their motivation has changed from career to service to humanity, to invigorate, to enliven, to advance knowledge of wisdom so that they can live a higher quality life. It's a dharma, stepping into their dharma. There you go.
Ooh. All right. Well, they've got lilac on their
Ooh.
side. To me, this flower looks like a lot of ideas.
Mm.
There's a lot of ideas there for them to choose from. Lilac is a flower that has a sense of like, okay, I'm accepting things as they are. I'm letting go of the control and like that rigid thinking, the rigid structure around things. And so I think that can speak
Yeah.
to what you were saying, Madeline. It's also a flower to adapt quickly to change and to embrace change. So Gemini's, they're mutable. So they're constantly shifting and changing and and shifting and changing their mind, maybe what they're focused on. And so this is going to give them a little bit of I would say a boost to help them maybe calibrate a little bit more, and just give them a feeling of acceptance at times for how people are and things are, and then be able to relax into the ideas. I don't know if that's making as much sense as it does in my head. I'm trying to articulate it.
Wow. I think, sorry, I don't mean to
Yeah.
interrupt.
No, go.
Well, it just seems like a transformation. I just pulled this card, which is a transformative card. So remember, Pluto's in on this. So it's like awakening, a belief shift from spirituality. Like they're seeing, like purple always represents the Pisces. So they're shifting to spirituality, to more in the light, to wakening up to wisdom as being the true source of riches. Wisdom is to possess wisdom makes you richer than anything.
Yeah.
So
that is big. That's a good key.
Yeah.
All right.
Cancer rising, sun, moon, or sun, moon. I always say it. I always kind of just look at my ascendant when I do readings, but sometimes the sun, really, you can play it out. If you watch your sun, see on that house, you can see it playing out. But yeah, so this is going to be in your 8th house. So talk about empowerment. Holy manoli. Cancer rising have gotten very much into their power. They're going to be overcoming a lot with Pluto in their 8th house, and I can attest to this. They're going to be coming the 8th house is the hidden, the unseen, anything that's unseen. So it can be your money. That's why people's money, joint resources. Nobody knows everybody's joint resources. Your investments, nobody knows, it's hidden. You're private. Your sexuality, your sex life, it's private. Everything that's hidden, it rules a part of the body that isn't seen. So this is a new moon in the hidden. It can be in the occult. It can be a project involving the occult. A lot of Cancers are tarot readers, such as I. This could be some sort of new beginning, Aquarius. Travel, involved with travel and work. You've got Jupiter in your 12th and your 9th. So some sort of, again, with anytime Jupiter's in retrograde, a project coming back from the past, that is your soul contract, because it's in your 12th house. Karma had to be cleared around this. Communication, writing, media. But then you've got this thing in your 8th house, which could involve the occult or joint resources or finances or banking or investment. You could get a tax return that enables you to go forward with some sort of Jupiterian mission. Maybe I go forward on building my dream home that I'm hoping to build. Maybe, and plus, for Cancer rising, this is a really good year, Cancers, you can you'll be able to pay off the debt. So this new moon, if you have, I'm pretty good with that, but if you have a new moon there, you'll be able to, perhaps an opportunity comes in that enables you to pay off the debt, clears it up. It's a liberating new moon, and it's a very abundant new moon. So, maybe for me, I get some sort of extra income coming in that enables me to stay, because we're going to have Jupiter in Cancer in your 1st house. So Cancers are really headed for a very abundant year. So you can take a few financial risks on this new moon. You can trust. That's why astrology is great. So you may end up taking a financial risk, take a loan or something, but don't worry, you'll be able to pay it back, because this full moon, this new moon, is about taking. If you have a planet in Scorpio like an MC or North Node, you're supposed to take risks, supposed to take financial risk, because it shows that you have faith in abundance. You believe in the universal force of abundance. And so that's almost saying, I believe in abundance, and the universe goes, whoa, well, here you go. Because we manifest what we believe. That's what Jupiter tells us. So, so for Cancer, very nice new moon. This new moon promises abundant results, new beginnings that could be in writing, occult, involving spiritual communication. It could be psychological. You could start an online psychological therapy counseling group that you will be paid for. This is good money. Or you become a psychic, and then you start getting clients, and you're starting a new occult. People are waking up to the power of psychics. Really fantastic to chat if you're good at it. It's in your chart. You don't have any negative angles to your Neptune and your Mercury. It's going to be a good thing for you to do. I have a sextile from Pisces, Neptune in Scorpio to my Mercury. And when you have a sextile from Mercury to Neptune, it's really good for psychic work. You get really positive energies, positive spirits, and you have very good experiences with your clients, because it's in my 7th house, which it really works. So, but basically, so when you have Pluto there for Cancer rising, they're not feeling afraid of it anymore. They're not feeling like, oh, you're going to think I'm a weirdo, you know, but so something empowered Cancers up to get over some sort of fear around abundance. And a lot of Cancers have, and fears in relationships, attachments to relationships, and that's all gone. So now you can restart a project involving a relationship that before your fears of attachment, you hadn't healed enough to have been able to be in your power around to do it. So Cancers are very empowered now, and they know how to make their own money. They've become very abundant. Most Cancers I know have, landing on our feet. So most people are. That's what all this karma showed us when we clear it. It's like, wow, we didn't have to be so afraid. You know, the universe is really there. That Fool card is true. You land on your feet. I'm telling that to a lot of people these days. Don't worry, you're going to land on your feet.
And I feel like that, you know, the more aligned we are, the more likely it is that
Yeah.
we'll be able to land on our feet. So
Mhm.
we have the Akatillo flower for Cancer, and
Wow.
this is about perceiving the world in a fresh new way, softening the shoulds in life. I should be doing this. I should be doing that. Being more carefree, less critical. And I love this part of this flower is being open to the miracles, the synchronicities, and the weirdness of life. And I feel like Aquarius is a little bit weird. It's a little bit of that
It is. Yeah.
weirdness energy. So
Mhm.
just a really beautiful, supportive flower for a Cancer.
Oh my gosh, does that sum up the whole read or what? I mean, Cancer's becoming emboldened in their power and bold, like not afraid anymore to be who they are in the spiritual realm, or most Cancers are psychic anyway. But you know what I mean? Doesn't that look like, you know, it's Aries energy. I'm not afraid anymore.
We're here. We're weird. We're here. We're doing it.
Yeah. All right.
I love it. Okay, so Leo.
All right, Leo. Wow. Oh, just a quick mention to Cancer, by the way. You have Mars in your first house in retrograde. That's why you get that big, strong, you know, you got Mars in your first house. It's going to go direct soon. And then you're really like, wow, you know, Cancer risings are going to be very empowered and strong leaders and healed. Mars in your first house in retrograde. Going to get over some sort of mother wounding, insecurity stuff. Okay, go ahead. Leo. All right.
Thinking.
Seventh, interesting, yeah. So seventh house, seventh house. So we're looking at the new clients. Perhaps you get hired for a new lawsuit. I'm trying to widen it from the whole relationship thing. Of course, your divine partnership can come in here. The divine partnerships are coming into union left, right, and center. People I'm reading for. It's amazing. Right in time for these new earthings. Old relationships that are karmic are dissolving. And so people are stepping up into their dynamic mission with their partner. Like it's dynamic. It's Aquarius over the, you know, Aquarius over the seventh house is so joint contract. It's the most joint contract, soul mission. You literally, it's very twin flamey because you're like, because Aquarius is serving humanity, and that's what most twin flames are here to do. So I would predict twin flames for Leo risings big time. Well, everybody is pretty much across the board. But specifically this new moon, you may hear from somebody from the past, because remember, these planets are in the past. And somebody from your past will come in and initiate. Now it can be a partnership, collaborative partnership, not romantic. You may already be with your person. So then this is a partnership, new beginning, and it could involve your person too, or it could just be a new project with your person you're already with. Some sort of again, these are soul contracts, these are soul missions. So we're at also, by the way, because you're going to have Pluto in your seventh house, you're going to be learning to be empowered. Now, this is slightly different than Pluto and Capricorn in your seventh, where you're learning about how you give your power away to the relationship. Well, with Pluto in your seventh house, now you're going to learn how to harness a relationship empowerment in the relationship. You're going to learn how to be empowered in a relationship and join in that empowerment, if that makes sense. So let's see what else is happening there. We've got Jupiter in your 11th. Wow. So talk about publishing, book writing, and then tribes from the past, communication, ideas, media projects, internet project, starting a website, selling something. It's very Aquarius there. Publishing, writing. I mean, you got Gemini and Jupiter. It's so like expanding consciousness through writing or through some sort of Because remember this new moon, all these new moon beginnings are expanding consciousness, liberating people, stepping us into a very abundant new golden era. So these are the new, again, most likely from the past already coming back. So it'll be involve social media, new tribe, writing, collaborative, communicative media projects. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, we have the chocolate daisy for Leo. And I mean, tell me that just does not look like a bright old sunshine right there.
Yeah, wow.
Really, really, really fun. And this flower has a lot to do with joy. Simplicity. It is moving towards simplicity. So when I think about the seventh house and relationships, I think complicated. They tend to be complicated and complex. So here we're moving from maybe over analysis paralysis within a relationship. Oh, you're like back and forth and round and round and I don't know, to really get unstuck from that, clear the confusion, and have a mental spaciousness so that you can have the joy. You can bring that into your experience. So, this feels like a really supportive energy, more relationship based. I know you were trying to get away from the relationship stuff a little bit today, Madeline, but it feels very much tuned into that for this Aquarius new moon.
Can't get away from it on a seventh house transit.
No. So chocolate daisy for Leo.
I like that sort of busting through a knot that's in the heart, like busting, because Leo's all about the heart, and it's like busting out of this sort of wall, something.
Something.
So,
Yeah.
something. Well, wounding stuff, because Cancer moon Cancer retrograde Mars in there. Where was Cancer retrograde Mars? In their 12th house. Totally carrying karma. Yeah.
Yeah.
All righty. So let's go now to Virgo rising. This is in your 6th house. Wow. That's all about service and a new beginning and some sort of technological advancement in health or selling or service or health related healing, or a new beginning in quitting something or finding a healing device that heals you. And then you decide because technology is a big part of Aquarius over the 6th house, technologies in health and healing. But it can also just be to start a humanitarian effort that makes people healthier, who's really like 6th house is very 6th house Aquarius. He may be rising Virgo is RFK, because he's really like trying to help the community in the health, like help America's health. Like that's the kind of service, to serve humanity for the health, or the day-to-day things that we do that are damaging to us or self-destructive, or so this is a new beginning out of an old destructive path, a way where you're not conscious of, because you're empowered now. The other thing that people are going to wake up to, because I get a lot of people calling me for readings about their health, and almost every single time I say, you know what, you're going to be fine if you change a couple things, right? We have power over our health. We are not just victims to our health. This is that Aquarius thing. That's what we're going to learn with Pluto in your 6th house, Aquarius, empowering ourselves over our health. We have so many ways that we can be empowered over our health, by the way we think, the way we talk, placebos. Placebos are incredibly powerful. They have research on them where it's like they're 100% work, and they're just like salt, But, so we're going to sort of have some sort of advancement in the technological knowledge or the advancement of humanity in the form of health. And we're going to become a lot of Virgo are usually shaman, healer, medicine people. I read for a lot of Virgo men that are so shaman. And shamans are weird. They're not just normal. You think a shaman would walk around with like Indian feathers and drums, but they actually are. Jim Morrison considered himself a shaman. He would say musicians are shamans. He was absolutely a shaman. So what are shamans? They come in, and sound and music and performance is how we shift. It's sound energy healing is the number one shifting of our energies, medicine. It keeps us alive. I have zero doubt. So your Virgo rising are very sort of shamany, healer, medicine type, earthy people, detailed oriented, high service, self-sacrificing, willing to work in the background with no applause. They're very important in our community and societies. I love having Virgos in my life. They see all the little things I miss. It's my blind spot, Virgo. So anyway, so for Virgos, we're seeing some sort of big new beginning. And again, it is going to trine your 10th house. It will be very auspicious, very abundant new beginnings that you didn't have confidence in yourself. You didn't believe in enough, or you didn't see the importance the importance that it brought for humanity. You didn't see that then. Now we see something. Go ahead. And don't forget, we've got revelations. Revelations, maybe a health thing comes up that's a problem, which then makes you very proactive. Remember, we're becoming very proactive. The Aquarian energies are proactive.
Well, I love this saguaro cactus
Oh,
flower.
wow.
It reminds me a lot of Leo. I feel like it is very Leo connected because it's heart centric. However, I also feel a really beautiful connection with Virgo here because of the purity of heart when it relates to being of service and not wanting anything in return. Like you literally just spoke to that energy, Madeleine, and it dissolves misaligned energy. So if you think about any sort of misaligned or disharmonious energy, that can affect your health. So this is very supportive for that. And another key element for the saguaro cactus is fearless independence. If you think about this flower, it's on a cactus in the middle of the desert. It's like harsh conditions, but it's out there, and it's like a sign of fearless independence. Like I'm standing here, very stoic, but yet I've got this beautiful flower that's going to shine and brighten the world. So I love the saguaro cactus flower for Virgo.
Yes. Keep forgetting to throw the independent word out there. You're right. Thanks for bringing it up again. This new beginning will enable you to quit a job because it's because you've got Jupiter in your 10th house and it's making a trine to that. So this new beginning is so auspicious that it will change your job situation. You'll be able to quit, and that's a liberating thing. You'll be liberated from a slave burdensome job, because the 10th house is that, can be. All right.
All right. So we're now moving
I love
on
how
to,
the card just brings in a little element that I've overlooked here.
that's the beauty of this.
I know.
And the flowers.
That's why I work with cards. Yep.
It's so cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Libra.
Okay, Libra, 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 ruled by Venus. Venus is in exaltation right now, and it's going to continue because it's then going to go into Aries and it's going to retrograde back into exalted Venus. This is a very good time for Libra. Your ruling planet is a very, very happy place. But oh wow, you have this new moon in your 5th house. Joy, fun, cool friends, like it's all Leo energy. It's inspired, you're excited, some sort of a project that you're going to do online with a tribe. It could be creative writing, creative project, filming, it's entrepreneurial project involving technologies. It could be, by the way, I'm not knowledgeable on all the new things going on technologically, but there's a lot behind the scenes that we don't even know about that are going to suddenly appear. By the way, free energy, I'm predicting free energy. I know other astrologers have mentioned it. I have seen this a way back. I didn't say anything, doesn't matter. But the point is that we will have free energy coming in here by the end of this year. We will see that part of the reason we're all going to be so abundant is free energy is coming into the story. So imagine not paying for gas and heating anymore. I mean, we'll be so rich. Anyway, and internet stuff, all free. So, so for Libra, writing, Libras are writing. They're the genius writers. They're actually geniuses. A lot of the Libras are going to be considered geniuses because they have really balanced ways of seeing things and thinking, and they're better at a lot because of that. I see it, and I wish I was more like that. I try to be more like that. Anyway. So Libra are going to be this beautiful new moon for Libra. It's an auspicious new beginning. Again, this would be involving a friend, could turn into a relationship, partnership, because it's going to be a co-collaborative. A lot of us are stepping into our missions, our callings, which usually involve your twin flame or your divine mate, whoever your destined person is, your destined true person that was planned for you to join with on this entrepreneurial creative project venture that could involve media, writing, technologies, photography, filming, the arts, performing, filmmaking, writing a film. Gemini and Jupiter in retrograde in the 9th house, the sage, the house of the sage, which is the wisdom and storytelling, the tale of the horse. There's a tale that tells the tale. So very much media projects, travel, involving travel, writing, again, a concept from the past, but again, there's a wisdom quality to it. There's awakening to spirituality for Libras, philosophy, wisdom. I'm seeing it. I'm so excited about it.
Well, for Libra, we have the mountain.
Oh, wow.
And if you think,
Did you say mountain goat? Sorry, mountain what?
Laurel.
Oh, mountain laurel. Okay.
Mountain laurel. So when I think about the fifth house, I think about being about confidence and creativity, you know, because it's connected to that Leo energy, which is very confident. So we have a keyword of confidence, play big. Okay, again, play, fifth house, big Aquarius energy. There's also a sense of mental freedom, the Aquarian energy, freedom energy. So it's so in tune with this, the Aquarian energy in particular, and it's a great reminder for Libras. And finding a comfort within themselves that will allow them to sense the true greatness of the world around them. It's not always going to be about relation to another person. It's about the balance and bringing that within themselves, and then being able to look outside themselves and see the greatness that surrounds them. And they're doing this through playing big, through mental freedom, and having the confidence to explore. So the mountain
Well,
for Libra.
yes, it reminds me that Libras are intellects. They usually are intellectually, they love to be intellectually inspired, or they like mental like their mind to go interesting places. And an air sign, so they're like to write stories. The mind is very intellectual. So I see this sort of mental activity for the Libra, you know, like mind lighting up, like, ooh, and that is the Jupiter in retrograde Gemini over the 9th house, very intellectual.
So there we
So
go.
yeah, intellectual projects coming in that advance humanity, knowledge. All right, so now we're going to go to Scorpio.
Scorpio.
Yes, you guys have in your 4th house. So a new beginning in a living situation, moving, home, family. You could get pregnant, new family, but you're definitely your tribe, your true tribe. You could start to move in, you could buy land and then move into a community. Some of the things we're going to start seeing is like tiny home villages. They sound like communes, which is very hippie and kind of weird, but it's not like that anymore. We're going to just get communities, neighborhoods. They're gated, but everybody maybe raises the foods themselves and they eat within the chicken and the, you know. But the good thing about the age of Aquarius is that religion is kind of evolving away, being in Pisces, Neptune and Pisces dissolving religions. So what we're having instead a spirituality that is more individual choice, personal individual choice, and you don't have to agree spiritually or be a part of a group and all believe in the same spiritual stuff. You can have your own personal meditative whatever practices work for you. You're developing and growing your own thing now. People are choosing and picking and choosing from all the modalities and doing what works for us individually, because we're all very different. So with this energy of Scorpio, this could very much be that kind of an environment where people are like-minded, they live together, or a new technologies at home. You could be a Scorpio and you're going to go online and start working at home and sell things, or advanced technology, or work at home on the internet, in media communications, right? You know, Mars, your ruling planet, is in retrograde in the 9th house. So again, this would be something from the past. And again, healing with Mars retrograde in your 9th house, waking up, kind of healing beliefs, changing a lot of mental mind. You're ruminating a lot and thinking about things, and wow, what, and it's not changing your mind, but it's hard to explain, like things coming up that are emotional. You don't know what to think of it. You're trying to process it. You want to give it another story, a new story, so you can move on. That's what the Mars in the 9th house is all about. Scorpio, they talk a lot of stories that they get triggered, and then they tell stories around it. So you're clearing up your pattern of bad storytelling, that like you have a new belief now where you can start telling yourself better stories, put yourself more in faith. So then, and Chiron squaring that, there's a lot of healing going on for Scorpio here. And this new moon is very liberating. All of a sudden, you could just suddenly, surprisingly leave. That's another aspect of this new moon. You suddenly are liberated and free from a living situation that was trapped. You meet a new tribe. You move. Other things in your chart show relationships. You then find a new home. You move. And this is your true tribe. And then you step into soul contract admission with this person. Go ahead.
So interesting. My mind was just dancing all around with all those ideas.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're Scorpio.
Yeah, and I think Jessica, she was a Scorpio rising as well. I don't know if she's still with us, so that relates to her. I'd be curious if she feels any resonance. Okay, we have the papaya flower for Scorpios. I just was so tickled as you were talking, because this literally connects to having a community mindset, collaboration.
Wow.
So it's very much, I mean, you can even see like all the little flowers and the smaller blooms. It's like, it's almost like they're working and supporting each other and finding that collaborative sort of energy in the projects that you're working on. Like I said earlier, Aquarian energy, think big. So think big with the projects, and you'll find the people will find you to collaborate with, to support whatever your mission is. This also has to do with compatibility within relationships. So, fourth house also can be ancestral, familial. So maybe there's some compatibility or some clearing of the air, if you will, within some familial relationships. And then it's also an energy of bringing balance between the masculine and feminine energies within you. And how can they work cooperatively for you to move forward on any projects or big goals or visions that you have. So,
You want me to tell you how to do that? This is what I
yeah.
teach in my class, in my tarot class, because the Gemini just reminds me, because the Gemini, Jupiter's in Gemini in retrograde. You know what it is? Everybody has to learn to do, and this is how to collaborate. You have to be very, very nice to each other. That's the secret. It's the Lover's card. It's the Gemini card. When I teach this class, in order to expand in a project, or even on the trio, even on the path from the unmanifest to the manifest, you have when you get to the sixth pass, the sixth level, which is the Lover's card, which is Gemini. It's exactly what you're saying. You have to learn how to make agreements with people, how to balance, how to get along, how to harmonize, how to work with you, and you have to be to be successful in life. You have to be very nice.
With
You have to set boundaries and not be
yes,
taken
with
advantage of.
boundaries.
Yeah. But I just have to say, I found this card because I'm in this coffee shop and I put my laptop on a bunch of board games, and I don't know what board game this is, but this thing fell out, and look, and it's so weird. It says powerless to powerful. That is
Ooh,
exactly what we're doing. I mean, I couldn't believe it. So I was just like blown away.
that's really cool.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, I'd be curious
That
what the
sums
game
up
is
the
too.
whole freaking read. So wait, back to that card you just put up.
Do you want me to hold it up again?
Yeah, oh, I lost my train of thought. It was
We were
something.
talking about collaboration, being nice to one another. We're nice
Oh
with
my God, I
boundaries.
can't believe it. You said the exact word. I was trying to tell the word collaborative is such a big part of the Aquarius. And when you said it, I said, I've got to emphasize that word. And I couldn't remember it. And then you literally was the first word you said. We're being very psychic here today.
Woo, all kinds of energy.
Yeah.
All right. Are we ready to
And
move?
that card was very spiritual. It was very ethereal and spiritual. By the way, Gemini is the masculine and feminine. One is the masculine is very, very macho, very like, very Neanderthal, right? And then the feminine is very ethereal and like glitter and very fairy. So the two polarities. So we're getting, and
Well,
so you have to harmonize these two polarities through being nice.
the other part of this card that I didn't really touch on as much is that gentle is powerful.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like even the fact that you had that card, Madeline, that you just put up, powerful, powerless, like
Yes.
there is a power in being gentle. There is a power
Yes.
in being kind. And, that's a great pathway, like you were saying, to a collaboration, especially for women, though. I really want to emphasize with the sense of self-sovereignty first
Yes.
and foremost.
Not being a doormat or a wet people pleaser. We're talking coming from an empowered place, which is a place that you can give from.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Sagittarius. Let me see if I
Woo!
hold it.
Saggies. I'm a proud Sagittarius. I love being Sagittarius. It's the funnest sign. Why is Sagittarius the funnest sign? Because we're ruled by Jupiter.
Oh, yeah, it is pretty good.
Yep. So
That is pretty good.
retrograde, your planet, Sagittarius have been a little bit incognito and a little bit introverted or in the self more with the retrograde Jupiter, really evaluating. I've been really trying to I've got people asking me to present them with some classes and write them out. And I've just been really chewing on it with that retrograde Jupiter trining my ninth house of teaching where Saturn is. I'm really trying to lock into what I want to teach and how I want to teach it. So that's what Jupiter retrograde. Now with this full moon in new moon in your third house for Sagittarius, again, media project, that is absolutely media. That is a new tribe around, new people in your location, perhaps getting into a relationship. Why are you getting, yeah, because you've got Jupiter in your 7th house, relationship retrograde, someone from your past coming in, or a collaborative involving, if you're in a current relationship, a project from the past brings you two together to collaborate on something. Could even be a child. Getting pregnant is a collaborative. A partnership agreement, collaborative. So then you have this 3rd house. You've got Pluto in your 3rd house, giving you feeling empowered about communicating, being honest, talking, being direct, being on media, feeling emboldened to communicate, to speak for writing projects, public speaking, galvanizing people, getting online technologies, media technologies, Bitcoin. I don't know. There's a lot of technologies out there. I don't even know what they are, but let's throw that into the pile. If you know about them, throw it in. It's involving that, like things that I can't think of. Like we're going to start seeing a lot more things in the air, flying around in the air, people flying around in the air. You know,
These
we're
are
gonna,
some interesting predictions you've got today,
yeah,
Madeline.
free energy and people on the drone, people sitting on the drones, like above you in the traffic jam. They're like with their briefcase on a drone and an umbrella.
Hey, I would love a drone that flies over traffic here in South Florida.
So yeah, so Saggies, what else is happening? You've got Uranus in your 6th house, Jupiter in your 7th, Pisces over your 1st again. So you're clearing karma with mother issues and stuff. I can see that happening with my son. He's got a lot of Sag in his chart. Uh, then you've got Mars in retrograde over your 9th. So you're really resolving old tax issues, healing relationship issues. We're healing money problems with your ex, tax stuff, exactly what I'm doing, healing it, clearing those fear-based issues that attracted it into your life. Taking responsibility for what we attract. That's the age of Aquarius, by the way. What else? Healing though, healing it and healing these fears, empowering you. It's gonna have, well, I have Pluto there as a Cancer rising, but so Sagittarius can be very empowered in communication, speaking publicly, getting on stages, but media, writing. I'm repeating myself. I'm trying to think, is there anything I'm missing out? Let me just see where Jupiter, your 7th house, co-collaboratives involving your partnership. I know my son is moving to Puerto Rico with his girlfriend, and they're starting a job, and this is all happening on the new moon. They're starting some sort of big tribal sort of festival musician thing. Like it pulls in a lot of people, like they traveled. It's by the way, that whole festival thing is very Pisces Cancer, like, and it's also age of Aquarius where everyone's like gets together and escapes. It's very healing. And even Jim Morrison predicted a time where we would have machines and music and it just transforms you into the other dimension. It's very escapist into higher dimensional music where you're just like, music is changing. It's no longer that structured sort of verse, this, that. It's more like, whoa, where are we going with this? And it's taking us, and then they're in festivals and people are doing ayahuasca and mushrooms and escaping reality and finding and seeing the 5D beings. That's very age of Aquarius. So there you go for Saggies. Adventure travel too. Go ahead.
Well, we've got the African for Sagittarius. This just makes you smile when you see it. I mean, even you were like, wow. It's activates playfulness and it just reminds you to be silly. And I know this is not necessarily super connected to the 3rd house, but if you think about where your inspiration comes from when you're writing or you're speaking, it would be great to have more of that playful, silly side than always so serious side. And to me, that reminds me a bit of Aquarius. It's like the weirdness of the expression. And it also has to do with feeling like you have all this responsibility on your shoulders. You have all this that you have to carry. And now you can maybe put some of that down and create some space for some fun. It's not all work and no play. It's having a balance between the two. And then there's also the potential of clarifying your purpose. So, if there is any confusion about that, or you're way too focused on something like a work project or a career path that really isn't super aligned to you, this might be the little shakeup that you need in order to find a different direction. It sounds like your son is doing just that.
Yes, and it's in the third house, which reminds me, it's also a business. You can be starting your own media business or your own media company or your own company, you know, but that looks like a spiritual healed person coming out with the light, you know, Sagittarius being, because they've got Pluto there. So it's like not afraid to speak out, not afraid to start something, feeling very empowered to start in something. That's like believing in yourself, having confidence, stepping into the light energy. That looks nice
Delightful.
card. Yeah. And Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, which is purple. So it's like there's some sort of spiritual growth now in the Sagittarius that empowers them to step forward and be the light. Sagittarians are here to be the light. Jupiter is the planet of the bearer of the light, the bringer of light, the riser of light. All righty. So let's go to Capricorn.
Capricorn.
Okay, so great. I know some Capricorns that are going to be very happy about this. Yeah. This is a new moon in your second house of financing money. And I remember a new moon, I remember an eclipse in my second house. I started doing this stuff. So we were looking at a new beginning now. It could involve technologies. It could involve film work. It could involve media, filming, photography. It's definitely talent based because it's the second house is kind of like stuff that we possess that makes us money, or you have an inheritance, you have property or something, which you then pull a tribe around and you build things on it, or you, because Aquarius is very structured, Saturn ruled. You could start being a architect or a new project doing an architecture or a new project in a internet media project writing. Again, there could be a creative thing to it. It could be sometimes masseuse and massagers have planets in the second house. They're good with their hands. They make things. But this is a new career, a new job, a new income, a new way of working that feeds you, that brings you income. That's very, very auspicious. And again, when it's a Saturn-based new beginning, we're seeing a very, and plus it's a fixed sign Saturn. So we're seeing like these things becoming a new structure, a new foundation for the long term. These new beginnings for everybody, these are long-term new beginnings that structure us into this new, probably 30-year type cycle here. So then you've got, what else do we have for Capricorn? We've got Jupiter in your sixth, so you're healing, you're quitting something, you're going backwards. This again could be involving a project from the past, something you initiated from the past that you weren't, well, you've had Pluto in your first house, so you're clearing a whole bunch of karma all around, all your body, how you treat yourself. My ex-husband had Pluto in his first house on his ascendant when he was in the hospital for COVID. So you're paying for how you don't treat yourself because he drinks a little bit too much alcohol, but not too, but basically you're going to pay for your health problems or your health mismanagement. So, but now that your karma's cleared, whatever Capricorns are still alive from Pluto in their first house are here to rock the world. They are here they've gotten to the top of this mountain. Yep. And they're here and ready to take leadership and to take initiative and bold new beginnings from an empowered place in a creative form. But again, it's social media, networking, it's all things Aquarius, collaborative projects with people, but it is going to feed them because the second house is how you feed yourself. So this is a new beginning that literally puts money in your belly.
Oh, my honey is gonna love that.
Yeah.
He loves.
This is auspicious. So
All right, so we have the nasturtium for Capricorns, and I'm seeing a theme here. There's a lot of joyful energy in all of these cards. So here we have joy, we have contentment. What I love about this is being in the right place at the right time. And I feel like Capricorns sometimes feel like that's not the case for them, that they have to, it's all about working hard. They don't have the synchronicities that other people have, but this is highlighting for them that is available to them. This also helps them see their strengths and how they have a unique way of being. So again, this is that Aquarian energy coming in. Aquarian energy is like, see the uniqueness. Capricorns, I don't feel like can tend to do that. They're very structured and somewhat rigid. And so this will allow them, and even this card is a little bit more vibrant and dynamic and somewhat unique. I mean, you've got like different color gradations here. And I don't know, there's something like bam, again with this.
Oh, that is very, sorry, are you done? I don't want to interrupt you.
Yes, go.
So that's yeah, I'm like boom. That's very much a Leo energy of the fifth house, and how you live. So in Vedic astrology, they talk about liberating your Lakshmi in your chart, which is your fifth house, which is abundance and wealth without effort. It's called the Lakshmi. You activate this, and I'm studying how to activate this in people's charts. It's so true. It really activates it. So in my opinion, this is a Lakshmi activation new moon because that involves that Leo energy, and I've been preaching to Capricorns to find a creative to take their brilliance as a Capricorn and to leave the search of security and take off and go creative, and that activates when you go to play and you have fun and you joy and you trust your goat feet land, then you activate your Lakshmi, your wealth house. So I think this is a new moon because it's in that second house, which is creativity, which is also the fifth house. You're activating your Lakshmi in your chart, which is your money, effortless abundance.
All right,
That's my take on that.
Capricorns, did you hear this straight from Madeleine, the nasturtium? It's talking to you. Let me pop back over to the
Yeah, see if
chat.
anyone.
Okay, so Lena is here from Ontario. She is an Aquarius. I'm assuming Aquarius sun.
Oh, we're going to talk a lot about that now.
She's wondering about a specific person. And if they're going to tell them that that they love her. And so Lena, we're talking about the signs in kind of in general terms, like without
Tell her yes. Yes, he's going to tell her he loves you. Absolutely. I bet Lena knows she loves this man. She knows she's in love with him and he does love you back. Yes.
Why do you say that, Madeleine?
Because I know when a woman's in love with someone, because she's saying, does he love? She wouldn't say that to a man that she wasn't in love with.
Well, of course. Yeah.
So if you're in love with a man, yes, they're in love with you back. Guaranteed. I've been doing this since 2007. I've never been wrong on this. And here's another thing I know for sure. Going into your love relationships now. We're all moving into it. I haven't really gone into that yet, but next time we're going to go to the North Node conjoining Neptune.
Yeah.
Yes, we're going into joint partnerships with people we love. Yes, he's going to tell you love. I'm doing reads about this for a lot of people. The answer to that question is 100% yes.
Yeah, so she's basically saying that she just would love to know what his true feelings and emotions, thoughts, and intentions towards her are. Will he commit? There's no communication. A four-party situation. I'm not really sure what that means exactly.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so she's got a double third-party situation. It's very normal. It's happened to a lot of people on this journey. Sounds like twin flame. But here's the other thing that she is, you said Aquarius, so she's got
Yes.
Leo in her seventh house. Now, it sounds like she's on the twin flame journey or her divine mate, her true person. So she has to learn to pull her power into her center self, which is all what we're supposed to learn to do in relationships or not. In the age of Aquarius, by the way, it's the energy of 11 where two individual people are magnetized together by being both fully aligned with their higher self, not other people or relationships. If he's in a relationship with another person, that means you and your other person are relationship aligned. If you have a person and they're going away from you to other relationship, you're learning too much into that person. So this is the age of Aquarius. We become aligned with our higher selves, not a person. So then what happens is you pull back into your energy. He'll pull in towards you, pull into alignment, magnetize your opposite polarity, but you can't be in your masculines. You got to pull into your feminines. And here's the other thing about stepping into this time, we're clearing that karma where we sought salvation through relationships. Now we seek salvation through our relationship with a higher creator. So,
well, and I think the complication for her, as she shared a little bit more, is that they're both so.
Well, those are probably going to come down now because we're ending karmic relationships en masse. So that's probably going to collapse. You cannot force. I've been doing this long enough to see this because I've worked with a lot of people who've tried to hold on to karmic relationships. They can't, there's a point where your soul cannot hold it together anymore. Your soul will die. Like you just, I see it where they just say, I'd rather sleep on a park bench. I can't, you can't. And a lot of times people call me and they're like, is my relationship going to last or what? And like, when is it going to come down? And I say, it's in process right now. Like those walls are collapsing. This situation is collapsing. Like they go, I know. So we're collapsing karmic relationships and this new moon may be the new moon. She's Aquarius. So let's go into that. So this is
I want to chime in really quickly here because this is a very I mean, I literally wrote a book about
Oh yeah.
about this, that I mentioned at the beginning of the cosmic chat, Lena. And I think for this, to me, this is a very a big subject, because when it comes to being in a committed relationship or partnership, and then being drawn to somebody else or vice versa, it's tricky. My not anymore husband was drawn to someone else. There was a very strong cosmic connection between them. He was going through a sun change anyway. I don't want to get too in the weeds on that, but it's like, I think one of the key pieces in any relationship that you have is having clear, honest communication. And if you are really feeling this pull towards this person, it's getting clear with yourself. And like Madeline was saying too, it can't be leaving one relationship for another. It's really being in a place of completion within yourself. And if you are meant to be together, the energies will align thusly. But if you are in one relationship and looking for the sense of completion, or this real strong draw to him, that you need him, or there is this leaning on him, then you're kind of starting out from an imbalanced place, which can make it really, really challenging.
And
So
it could push your counterpart away. So energetically, you want to find your center self.
Yeah.
Always. That's what astrology helps us do, and not to find our center self through a person or another, anything that's external. But we are coming into unions of people who have been in separation, and their divine partnership partner has been in relationship with other people. I've been reading for a lot of people for many, many years. It's absolutely happening en masse, like a lot of unions coming in. So this new moon for an Aquarius, should I go in now? Are we ready for the Aquarius?
Yeah, she's still, we're going to wrap this up, Lena, because we got to get to the rest of the signs. But basically, whenever you have, this is what I found with my client work, is that whenever there is a passionate connection between people, and then you begin to communicate and talk about the feelings, if that person continues to pull away or need some space, your best bet is to allow that, especially with men. When you're pushing and want them to give you the answer and talk about your feelings and be very give you that sense of security when they're not really sure or they're emotionally unstable, that does not tend to work. So and she's asking for specific timing. I would say if you are interested in specific timing and a little bit more information, I highly, highly recommend a reading with Madeline to look at the astrology. If you want to look through that lens, if you want to look through different lenses, then I'm happy to support you with that. I think Madeline is pretty on the money here with what she's sharing just in general terms. So I feel like if you want more specifics, that would be a great way.
We have this Neptune Venus North Node conjunction coming in at the end of this month, early February. You're going to see, most people are going to see movement forward in their missions with their counterparts around that time. So you're going to see maybe the beginnings of the other relationship starting to dissolve, or communication coming in with the planning, or something occurs. But we're going to see in the next couple months a lot of advancements and a lot of progress in that. All these divine partnerships that have been in separation are all coming kind of together around now. So you'll see some good progress, shall we say, in the next couple months.
Yeah. So
have a reading anytime. We'll look at exact dates.
Yeah. And just hang in there. Yeah. Hang in there. Cause it's, we get it. That the love road can be rocky sometimes. So.
All right.
All right, we're actually now getting to Aquarius. Here we go.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, so yeah, so new moon, this new moon is in your first house, a brand new beginning with your divine partner, potentially your collaborative or some form of breakthrough, because the energies of Aquarius are always breakthrough energies, breaking through ruts. These are new beginnings that break us out of a stagnant situation. So this new moon could be a very powerful time for your union and Aquarians in general. Mars is going to advance into your 7th house of relationship eventually in direct mode. So things really do go forward within a relationship after you healing something with Mars in retrograde in your 6th house, healing some sort of wounding, low self-esteem wounding because of that 6th house placement. It can be not valuing, or shall we say, where we give too much. And Jupiter in the 5th house, a collaborative art, entrepreneurial, writing, creative project, collaborative, the fifth house is the house of entrepreneurial collaboratives, writing projects. I know some Aquarians who are in the film industry who may start doing some independent film projects. Like it's like stepping in doing independent film projects that aren't controlled by a megalopolis or whatever, aren't controlled by some sort of big thing. It's like independent projects, collaboratives that are coming through that are have a lot of relevance, that are very backed by the people. That really is the thinking of the time. That's all these new projects are more reflective of where we are mentally as a society. So these are new projects that are really in alignment with the mass consciousness or the way we're shifting and changing. These are new projects. So Aquarians are leading us into the age of Aquarius. So yeah, any Aquarians that are going through relationship pain clearing is again about becoming more empowered. You're going to have Pluto over your first house. So wherever Aquarians give their power away, they're going to come into self-empowerment now, because we need Aquarians to be fully empowered, because they're going to be the ones with the visions. They see the new age better than all of us. And they're going to be like bringing people together. They're going to step into their characters of Aquarians, which is to sort of naturally just they're the camp counselors. They bring people together and the tribe and the organizations of things. So a lot of the Aquarians are just getting ready. This is a new moon where they're just starting to warm up here.
I dig it. I've got a few Aquarians that I will be happy to hear that as well. And Lena, I'm sure you're happy to hear that. So here we also have the strawberry blossom, and I think all Aquarians will also be happy about what this flower brings. It brings expect the best, optimism, a fresh perspective, and openness to growth and opportunity. So I think the only piece of this that I would emphasize when it comes to the openness for growth and opportunities is sometimes growth and opportunities come with discomfort. So it doesn't necessarily mean it's all rainbows and unicorns. There might be a little bit of challenge that goes along with it. Are you willing to get into the muck, go through the grit to move through that and come out on the other side? But you can see this flower is very optimistic. It's very bright. It's very hopeful. It's very empowered. So Madeline, you have any thoughts on it?
Yeah, because I'm seeing this for some reason. I'm looking at that star while you're saying bright.
Yeah.
Like that star is like, I'm like, whoa, there's a star. That looks like a star.
It does. Yeah. It really does.
So yeah, it is. It's like the Aquarius kind of busting out. And you're right. You said something so Aquarius again. And I was like, darn it. What did you say? You said something, darn it. I wanted to emphasize that. But
I don't know.
breaking through, breaking out of a rut, breaking out of a stagnancy. This is also the energy of all of this. Feeling liberated and feeling like optimistic. So I forgot. It's not what I was going to say, but I've lost it. So I'll let it go.
Okay.
It's all right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I love the strawberry blossom for Aquarius. And then to round out our conversation, our chat, we have Pisces.
Yeah. So Pisces, you guys have this Aquarius new moon in your 12th house. My son is rising sign Pisces. He's traveling to Puerto Rico. He's going to move there and start doing this project. So, we could be seeing new projects involving travel, different cultures, far away, leaving your root, leaving your home, leaving the castle and going into the jungle, literally. Again, oh, I remember what it was. Comfort zone. Yes. This is all about shaking up the comfort zone because we need a new comfort zone, like a better one. So there was something not so comfortable about the old comfort zone. So we're using another one. So Pisces are ending some sort of karmic fear, new beginnings, setting themselves free. Talk about a liberation or a freedom, or he's moving out of a situation that he felt pretty stuck in. So these are new territories, new beginnings. Karma cleared, a lot of clearing of the karma. That is your 12th house. That is like a Pisces house. So that's a new beginning because you've gotten over some sort of karmic block, some kind of karmic baloney. I want to call it that, but it's literally like getting over something and now being able to step through, getting over a rigid mind about who you are and opening up, being open-minded. The energy of Aquarius is very open-minded. Aquarians don't believe everything you say, but they're open-minded. And I love that about Aquarius. So this is like a mind-opening thing where you step out of some sort of rigid idea of where you were supposed to go. You open your mind and you open your horizons here to a new beginning and something that really does open your horizons. And again, these are liberating new beginnings that bring auspicious and a lot of abundance and for a good chunk of time. These are liberating, financially liberating new beginnings. Hope I wasn't too short for Pisces.
Was it too short?
Was I? Your ruling planet is in retrograde, Jupiter, and that is in your 4th house, moving. My sun is moving. Hello. And my son it's somewhere that you've been before. My son has been there before. And he did initiate that project before, and it didn't quite work. It's not that it didn't quite work out. They just didn't know how to take it forward or what. Well, now it's going forward. So Jupiter retrograde in all of this energy.
That's pretty cool.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
gonna
it might be a great place for Pisces to consider, okay, what are projects that I tabled that maybe I could bring back? And for, you know, if they're looking to move, okay, where are places that I've lived before that I feel a connection to, or a place I've been before that I feel a connection to? It might help them because the euphrasia really supports being decisive and trusting yourself. So when you are able to trust yourself, you have this like ability to see clearly. When you are able to see clearly, you're able to act without hesitation. So this is a flower of energy that trust your intuition, follow that, and act. Do it. Be decisive. Not wishy-washy.
Yeah.
This is decisive.
I do want to say that because this is an electric new moon, air, like that light, I think these are either ideas come in. I think things come to us on this. It's a masculine new moon. So it's like my son just texted me. So it's a masculine new moon where opportunities come in, things are coming to you. Like, I know it sounds like, or ideas, or it's an opportunity new moon that opens the door because what this new moon is going to show us is that this was our fate. It was going to happen. We just weren't ready for it. So now we're kind of ready for it with that Pluto Sun conjunction. We're ready for it. Just like you could say Trump was now ready to really step in and take charge and, you know, run this country into what he called, which I think is really positive. So it's like we're stepping in empowered now to redo something. Remember, Trump is back in again. This is from the past. So we're all coming in from something from the past that we weren't empowered enough to do at our full potential at the time. So, and these opportunities, yes, we've worked hard for them. Yes, we were part of co-collaborating or co-creating, but now we're going to see the universe brings it in and you can see, wow, this is my destiny. This is fate. This is supposed to happen. I am supposed to go forward with this project. Like I was right. I just wasn't ready. So that's what we're looking at here. And it's very good news.
Yeah, I feel like all the flowers from today, which I'm just going to do like kind of hold, like look at all of the bright,
I love it when you do that, when you post them all out and we see them all together.
Yeah. So yeah, if you want to see all the cards together, I post them on social media. I put all the cards for, you know, it's just to be able to see all of the brightness and all of the colors for every sign. And if you think about it, you know, all these flowers, the energy comes together because we're all a collective. So every flower is connecting with each other and every energy is connected with each other. And it's such a, it's a vibrant tapestry of energy and light that we're all exchanging at all times. And it's kind of cool to think about it in this like big-minded Aquarian way for this new moon.
Yeah, those flowers really sort of paint the energy of each sign, like how that full moon kind of expresses itself on a sort of pure abstract level, which I love.
It's fun.
That's why I like card reading.
It's just fun. So remember that at the beginning of this cosmic chat, what's your big vision of the future? Like really get some clarity right now when we've got this new moon energy coming in. You know, even now you might be feeling little bits and there might be glimmers of information. So follow that thread. And Madeleine, what do you have? Anything further?
Well, yeah, just that if anybody watches this, I'm back in San Point because I've had quite a few people saying, when do you come back? I want readings. I'm going to be back Friday night. So I'm starting readings on Saturday right away, which is good because I like to be busy. So yeah, I'll be back. And it's hang in there, everybody. We're gonna see some really exciting new times. I feel really good about everything.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
Yep.
So let me just pop back to the chat, make sure that no one has any other thoughts or questions. Nope, it looks like we took care of everyone over there, and we thank you all for being here. Those who jumped in and maybe had to jump out, those who were with us the whole time, we appreciate you. Like, share, comment. We love the interactive nature of it as well. Is there something else you want to?
1:44, yeah, it's 1:44 p.m. right now. That's the Aquarian light worker, 144 light worker, 140. Forgot the Aquarius is the light worker. The Aquarius new moon. We're here as light workers. There we go.
We're bringing the light,
Close it out.
baby.
Yep.
Bringing the light.
All
So
right.
thanks for joining us. We got our information below if you want to have any further support. And we will see you all in a couple of weeks. We'll likely be back on our regular Tuesday, but we'll keep you posted. Everyone, stay tuned on social media. And if you are on Madelaine's or my email list, we'll update. Well, I update people ahead of time on there. So if you want to get some scoop, and we will see you soon. Bye for now.
Bye.